let's talk about Married to Medicine, y'all. I have to say I am glad that they done wrapped it up with Reunion Part 3. I'm glad this is a wrap. But we're gonna pull out a few things to talk about, okay? Eugene and Quad, all right? Eugene tells Quad that he feels like her calling him Eugenia was the worst thing that she could say, and it was worse than what Toya said about him and his peen not growing. I want to get y'all thoughts on that. Would you agree with Eugene? Disagree?
I
You think she was
disagree.
wrong?
I
Uh,
disagree. I'm sorry. A woman who doesn't know what your genitals look like calling you Eugenia is something that you could knock off the shoulder. Like, bitch, fuck you. But your actual wife, who has physical evidence of your nether regions telling us that she's upset that they're not growing. Well, sir, I'm sorry. That feels like that hits a little harder. Feels a little bit more, truthful for me.
Yeah,
that's what
I
I was
have to
thinking.
agree. I don't think that it's worse. I feel like his wife gave clearance to have his penis up for discussion, which I think a lot of these women do. They get real comfortable with their friends and they be wanting to have fun, candid conversations. But best believe the table's gonna turn. Just kind of like how we're seeing Candace, which we're gonna talk about. Giselle was always talking about Chris's brown peen, and now whatever.
Mm,
But
mm.
I don't think it's the same thing. I think his feelings are just hurt, and he is trying to set a double standard. It's actually worse when your wife is talking about it, because if your wife say it don't hit, that's the facts right there. That's the car facts right there, and that's gonna hit harder. To Bobby's point.
I definitely agree with that. I was thinking the same thing. Like, I mean, what your wife says about you negatively to me should all, especially publicly, negatively publicly, should always hurt more than what somebody else could say. Like that, just because I feel like you ain't got no allegiance to that other person over there. That other person, like, is giving
Who
sticks
gives
and
a fuck what
stones
they
type
care?
thing.
Yeah,
But
like
when
who
it
cares?
right, but when it's your mate, somebody that you've been growing with, building with, like that's where it definitely should be a
Or
problem.
not growing with,
In my
because
opinion,
it didn't get
Nisa.
bigger.
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh,
oh, girl.
ooh,
Well, there's
the
that.
crux of it
Um,
all. Both are
Nisi said something.
emasculating. Yes, they are.
Yeah,
That's not lost upon
Nisi,
us.
you said you said something about Toya basically putting Eugene in a position to be talked about or
Hmm.
talked down on.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that is really a fact. I don't hear a lot of people talk about that because I feel like all of them do that. So it makes me think about Contessa sitting up there kind of being upset with Heavenly about stuff when you kind of open up and leaving room for people to discuss what you got going on. And I think all of the ladies on the stage did that as well in different ways. What else? Speaking of
Except
Contessa,
for
do you
Heavenly. Except for Heavenly. Heavenly ain't say shit for y'all to say nothing
look
about her. And listen, you ain't say
and
he's the best man she ever met, the only man she ever been with in her life, and y'all better not ever do
period.
nothing else besides that.
And you better not say nothing to him either.
Don't talk to him. Don't look at
Right.
Don't
him.
Don't
ask
Don't
him
move
ask
in
him
his
nothing.
no
direction. Don't say
questions.
shit to him. When we get to that, I do have a difference of an opinion in that area though. When we get to
Okay,
that.
about Heavenly and talking to
Yes,
her
when she
husband. Okay.
yeah,
Remind me to bring that up.
I will.
Because I just pulled out a few things. Do Contessa, do y'all feel like Dr. Contessa was kind of trying to trigger Damon to get out of character when she was talking about him not coming forward? Like if you really wanted us to be all in one accord, then you would have came to us much sooner. Do you think that she was trying to kind of like pull on his string to kind of get him to
I don't
act
think she
out?
was trying to pull on his strings. I think she was just trying to point out that you're not as high and mighty as you pretend to be. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what the
Mm,
point was. You're not above everybody, Damon. Calm the fuck down. Like I think that's basically what the energy was.
yeah.
Yeah, and it reminded me of whenever they got into that fight during the season. And she said, I got the same credentials as he do. You're not about to talk to me any type of way. Um, I think, yeah, the high and mighty thing is what it is. But I'm telling y'all, I can't stand Contessa. I'm sorry. I cannot stand her ass. I really cannot. Just because I feel like all we see from her is projection this entire time. Like Heavenly and Damon, I don't think that they do the high and mighty thing because they don't want to be telling all their business. They don't want to tell the negative parts of things,
Mm,
which shouldn't really bother you unless you have some guilt for sharing the negative aspects of your relationship. So I feel like Contessa's always in the business of proving that somebody is just as imperfect as she is. And it's like, that's between you and your husband that you came on the show, your husband, that you came on the show and spilled all y'all's tea. That doesn't really have to do. I don't understand what the motivation is behind you trying to expose Heavenly and Damon.
I don't. I feel like Contessa. Wait, what was the question about Contessa? Did I answer it first?
Yeah, you did.
You
answered
did.
it
Okay,
first.
so that's because I wanted to expound upon that, but I feel like you're gonna ask another question that's gonna get me to that point anyway. So go ahead, Jamie.
My next question was actually about Simone and
Mm.
whether y'all felt like Simone, because Heavenly to me was trying to make it seem like Simone was wrong for bringing Contessa to a place for them to have a conversation, knowing that they weren't at the same space. And I was wondering if y'all feel like that fault was on Simone, because I didn't feel like all of that was on Simone. I felt like that was Heavenly doing what she does, which is deflect to try and get some of it off of her. And it's like, you got to be held accountable. Like at the end of the day, Damon was honestly tired of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all always gonna be in rooms with people that y'all don't like, but at the end of the day, I felt like you kind of took it too far. Y'all both did, but you got to take accountability for that. Period. He was
I
tired of your
agree.
mouth.
He was. It was her in that moment. And I do think she tried to deflect and, let him talk, Contessa. It's like, girl, he's screaming at you too. He's telling you to shut up too. He here complaining about
Right.
you right now. And everybody knew it, which is why we were so confused about Contessa when she was like, you trying to take up for your wife. It was like, actually, he was agreeing with what you were saying. So I don't know what your problem is. Contessa be on some other shit to me. And that's why I feel like everything that we see about Contessa is more so about Contessa and her issues. It's not really
Yes.
about anybody else. It's about her and her issues. Just like Heavenly shit is about her and her issues. It's not about the other person because they act like this with everybody. They act this way all the time. Like Contessa literally goes around trying to get other people to join her fight against somebody else. Like, we get it, bitch. You were in the
Right.
military. It's a soldier mentality for you to need, like, you need help for
Be my
everything. Even
voice.
yeah, even though you
Manipulate.
even though you won't come and try to bully people with your body on some robbing shit. So
Ooh.
I just kind of feel like Contessa needs to go to therapy and deal with her issues and stop pretending that
Facts.
she's happy with Scott and then blowing up on everybody else because she has nowhere else to focus that negative energy. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like that's why her and Toya didn't linked up this season. I think her Simone too. People want to act like
Yes.
Simone is happy with Cecil, but she's not. Like, nobody
Mm.
jokes about disliking their husband and not screwing him. Like, you are in your 50s, I'm guessing, right? Simone's in her 50s. You are too young to not want to be on top of your husband's D all the time, or at least most of the time. I'm just saying, y'all. I watch people through different stages of their life, and yes, sometimes things aren't always as important, but you should still have that type of I want to do you energy for your partner. And every time they bring up sex, Simone is like, "Oh, child, that's not ever what I wanted to do." She was like, as soon as I got married to him, that meant I was gonna have to stop screwing him. Like, that's the type of shit you're talking about when you talk about your relationship with your husband. And to me, I feel like that speaks volumes about the fact that you're really not happy with him. So I think her, Contessa, and Toya are not happy in their
Yeah.
relationships. And
Yep.
you looking at
Mm.
Quad, who left hers and is free. You jealous of that, Toya. Y'all can say what y'all want to about Quad, but her being free and able to do whatever she wants to do, Toya is jealous of that. Then when it comes to Anila, I think Anila like her husband. Toya, I think
Yeah.
Eugene, Eugene, you're really mad about the fact that Toya said that she would trade you in for Kieran. That's why you big mad about them
Oh, I
costumes.
forgot about that. I'm so glad you said that.
I was like, y'all forgot she said that she would want to see what Kieran's dick was about. And now all
She
of a sudden
did.
you want to make a big deal about these costumes when you done been out
No
here laughing
hesitation.
about.
I feel like
Listen,
Anila be talking about that man Ping. Like y'all say
Oh
King
she
yeah.
Stupid, but I feel
probably
like she be
do.
talking about that man
I
Ping to
mean, I think
Toya.
they have a good
Toya
sex
like, I ain't
life.
tried.
I think they have a good sex life. And that's why, remember Anila was talking about the anal she had done and all of this type of shit.
I forgot
I
about that.
I really
Shit.
felt like there's some jealousy there for the type of relationship that Anila has. And I also think that Contessa is deeply jealous of the way that Heavenly and Damon are able to fight fair. They protect each other no matter what. Y'all do the
Yeah.
exact opposite with the way y'all handle each other. And I think on some level, you're jealous of Heavenly about that. So
Oh,
yeah.
facts. That's why she want to expose her.
Yeah.
Because
And
she
that's why
wants
you want to
somebody.
take it to Damon too. Like it ain't got shit to
Yeah.
do with Damon, but you keep like, targeting him.
She mad that she don't have that same protocol for her institution. Am I hearing her voice? And I'm like, when you gonna get over it? To answer your question about Simone, my first thought was like, okay, Heavenly, take accountability. My second thought was like, I'm pretty sure Simone did bring them together too early. Just because Simone this entire season had so much joy when it came to proving Heavenly at fault. When it came to Heavenly, you shouldn't have been doing this, or Heavenly, you don't do this, Heavenly, you don't do that. Literally, it was sometimes where I can't remember exactly what scene, but if somebody said the sky is blue, she would have been like, but Heavenly, you don't talk about your friends. And it's like, what Heavenly? That's how she was sounding. If Heavenly, like, we get it. Heavenly shouldn't have been dragging the people on YouTube. But my thing is, I'm gonna need you to keep the same energy for Contessa and have some accountability for Contessa when it comes to the way that she speaks about her husband on these public platforms, and then can't take personal responsibility for what you did to your marriage. So it was almost as if you were just continuing to help Contessa project and gaslight for your own greed. So I could absolutely see the opportunity for Simone to bring them together too early, knowing that something was going to pop off, really because they want to make her look like a bad girl in front of Daddy.
Well,
I can see that.
Simone, I don't think Simone feature Heavenly for real. I think she tolerates her for sure, but I don't think that she likes her. I feel like Simone doesn't forgive easily. And I think she still kind of blames Heavenly a little bit for the breakdown between her and Jackie's friendship. She may be trying to get over it, but I don't think she really like it for real.
I'm gonna tell you, on some level, I don't know why. On some level, she enjoys the relationship with Heavenly. On some level, I think it's because she's petty. I think she's petty as fuck, and I think they used to enjoy talking about Toya and how she didn't have anything going on together. I think everybody loves the fact that Heavenly would say the things that they wanted her to say until she started saying things about them that they didn't want to hear. So I think that Heavenly is that personality that messy people like until it's turned on them, and I think Simone is very messy.
Say it again. Messy versus.
I didn't think about that. Simone can't stand Heavenly ever since she stole her friend. That's what I think, really.
But she didn't steal Jackie. Like, to me, she didn't. Jackie is still available to Simone, but Simone is not going to dictate whether Jackie is friends with Heavenly or not. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, that's a fact. But like at the end of the day, I think Simone's issue was that as your friend, don't check me and not check a newcomer that's coming into your life because I knew you before the show. So I think Simone's issue was just about, she would treat her different. So I mean, granted, that is really not Heavenly's fault.
It's not.
If Jackie decided to treat you differently, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. She gonna still blame that lady when it should be on.
It should be on Jackie. But another thing is I feel like Simone is a little needy in their friendship. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the way Simone will sometimes talk about how she feel like she should have certain liberties in her friendship with Jackie, it made me feel like on some level Jackie was tired of Simone always needing her to be a certain way in their friendship. Whereas with Heavenly, she has more control of their relationship. So she's able to kind of dictate how she deals with Heavenly, because Heavenly sees Jackie in like a maternal role, if y'all pay attention to it. I've noticed that. She kind of looks up to Jackie like a mother figure or older sister. And with Simone, there are sometimes where I feel like Simone wants more, like she wants less boundaries around her friendship with Jackie. And Jackie is like, no, bitch, I need these boundaries.
I see that because I think Simone is used to them operating how they used to. But once Jackie went through that situation with Curtis, like that'll evolve you and change you and how you make your moves and stuff. And I don't think Simone understands that, which is why she probably still wants more.
Yes,
or whatever
and
from
Jackie
her.
Jackie can't give that same amount as she used to because she has to give some to Curtis, so he gonna, cheat on her again. So.
For sure. For sure. What were
Yeah.
you gonna say about Heavenly and talking about her her telling Quad like don't talk to my
Oh,
husband?
in that moment, I know everybody saw it is her doing the insecure thing, but I feel like what was actually happening in that moment was Heavenly was like, "You're not about to use my husband against me." And that's what she felt like Quad was trying to do. When they trying to get his opinion is so he can reprimand her in front of them. And everybody knows, don't nobody want their husband joining up with the people that's, against them to reprimand them publicly. Nobody wants that. So Damon wasn't going to answer until Andy asked the question, which honestly, we would like your perspective on how you handle her when she does these things. But the truth of the matter is, there's no way he was going to be able to answer that question and keep Heavenly in the space that she needed to be in with him. So he said, whatever we do, however we handle it, it's me and her. And nobody's going to get in between that or make me not be on my wife's side. I got my wife back. That was basically what Damon was saying when he was talking, and that's because he realized they were going to use whatever he said against Heavenly. And
Right.
Heavenly also realized y'all trying to use my husband against me. People have done that to me before, and I'm like, how dare you try to use my fucking husband against me? He's my husband, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But and then I had to have the conversation with him because he thinks he's playing devil's advocate, but you have to understand what that makes your wife feel like in a moment when somebody really is using you against her. You're not supposed to be able to be used against me. And I think in that moment, that's what Heavenly really was feeling like, bitch, don't talk to him. Don't ask him nothing. Because you're not about to use him against me right now. You're not about to get him to, reprimand me in front of y'all.
I think also because whatever she could have possibly asked, I'm thinking I can't remember, but it could have been about the show or the YouTube. And Damon really don't even be tuned in. I think to a lot of that to even be able to answer her question.
The question was, how do you handle when you talk to Heavenly about something and she goes back to doing it again?
Right, they treat her like a kid. They want her to be reprimanded, which is why I could believe that Simone brought them together with the men early because they all wanted to reprimand Heavenly, and she probably thought that was going to dead the situation if they got him involved.
Well, we got to saw how he handled her.
I was just busting out laughing at this comment from David talking about Quad and her British Memphis accent. And I died laughing because it is British Memphis. And I never thought about it.
Why do you want Quad? Why do y'all want Quad off the show? She is so entertaining to me.
She's entertaining. Oh, you don't think so, Jamie?
I think she is.
I think in the beginning when I first started watching the show, I was like, yes, I'm liking this Quad. Okay, she got her nephew and stuff. But as the show went on, I think it was the rant for me, girl. The hour-long rant. I was like, Quad, you have some other stuff. I don't even know if this is
I was here for it. That rant was hilarious.
And she was cussing everybody out. It was like, girl, she not even just
the fact that they stood there.
All y'all old bitches like
the fact that she stood there.
On everybody. She can get very annoying.
Dreams and nightmares. The Frank Sinatra line for me. The Frank Sinatra line lives rent free in my head. I Frank Sinatra this bitch. I did it my way.
Like, Lord have mercy.
No. Jackie said, just let the car run out again.
If Quad go, I won't be mad. Oh
my God.
You're not even married to medicine, my love. So I wouldn't even be mad.
Guess what? I'm tired of y'all using that as an excuse. Like, a lot of these housewives ain't fucking housewives. Like, give me a break.
Right,
like,
none.
I mean, that's a very true.
I feel like you could not like somebody. Y'all cannot like her. I'm cool.
It's just a jab that we use,
but I don't think
Mariah used it often on her.
I know, but I don't think we should be trying to like take nobody. I don't like y'all trying to take people check just because y'all don't like them when they entertain. Why y'all trying to take that lady check?
Well, we don't have the right to do that, do we?
I'm just saying, when everybody be like they want her off the show, that's like
they don't listen to the viewers anyway. I feel like
they don't.
The viewers
the
said they
gonna
do the opposite.
Don't like the most on the show is going to be back.
Oh, you know what I'm about to say? If Giselle's still there, If
And you
Giselle's
know
still
what?
there,
I said Quad must have some type of in with production the way she was going in on Andy and yelling at this man. I said, oh, we yelling at people now? I know what I said. Well, tell the people. You would have thought Quad was in charge of the girls.
Yeah. He said, "Well, let me read the card. Let me read the card." I
I'm
was like,
sorry. I
"Wow, the
enjoy all of
patience."
that. I enjoy all that. I enjoy her like checking him. I enjoy her and Heavenly having their moments where she was like, "Tag me in."
The part that killed me was when she said, when Eugene said, "What you got against us?" And she said, "I have nothing against you guys."
Girl, I
That
got
was
something
the
against
Stop
you
Memphis.
talking shit. Well, y'all stop talking shit first. I
I cannot.
It was Memphis British, and I'm so glad that somebody finally, defined what that was for me.
Okay. Anything else on Married to Medicine? Any other thoughts? We good on
No.
them? I think we good.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Okay.
good.
It's
First of
good.
all, wait,
Okay.
hold up. Somebody said,
Uh-oh.
did y'all
Uh-oh.
see the Twitter thread about Best Actress? And it was Quad versus Viola Davis. Please send it to us. Please add us on Twitter so we can
Oh.
see it.
No, really.
For
She
real.
do be
Add
Oh,
us
acting.
right
just,
now.
oh wow. Let me
Listen,
see. Quad versus Viola. Damn.
that would be hilarious.
That's Quad's ministry. That's what Quad needs to go into that arena.
She
She
should
Needs to
start
get into
absolutely
acting.
should.
acting.
She should
Tyler
start
Perry
acting. Please, yes,
on
Tyler Perry.
network.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, she would be perfect on like a show like The Have and the Have Nots and
she
Or the
shit.
would.
Oval.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, y'all.
Literally, that
Please
is her
bring Quad
alley.
in. Please bring Quad in to give speeches.
Sisters.
Oh my God, the way they need somebody to give dialogue to run out time.
Yeah, that's her.